That's who you guys want me to respect? Because you beat an awful Miami Dolphin? I watched every single ounce of this game. Ladies and gentlemen, it was horrible. Shout out to the rushing game of Judkins. Shout out to the Brown defense that we knew about already. You see me have the jersey for a reason. I am going to expose your Cleveland Browns on this.
The Browns locker room just exploded into a full-blown soap opera, and front and center is Jimmy Haslam, the furious billionaire who's officially lost his patience. After Dillon Gabriel launched that 55-yard bomb like he was trying to join the Avengers, Haslam reportedly snapped on Stefanski for still benching Shedeur Sanders. Can you imagine catching passes from heaven while your coach acts like talent is contagious? Something wild is bubbling in Cleveland. And it's not just the fans losing their sanity. You could feel it before kickoff, that eerie Cleveland silence that always creeps in when the Browns are about to invent a brand new way to embarrass themselves. Both teams sat at 1-5 and the vibes were tragic. The Dolphins were missing Tyreek Hill, and the Browns, they were missing basic football sense. Somehow those two disasters balanced out, giving us 3 painful hours of football that looked like a masterclass in how not to play the game. Haslam sat in that owner's box watching his so-called safe choice, Dillon Gabriel.
Close though. Like, it got so bad, I had to go back to watch Oregon. Right, just to make sure I wasn't tripping. I watched Oregon and I watched Shedeur. Nobody can tell me that he's better than Shedeur. You can't tell me that.
No, not at Shedeur's
You cannot tell me that.
Not at Shedeur's back.
You can't tell me that.
No.
I watched enough tape and I watched enough football and I know enough to see. When I watch these two dudes, I'll probably watch over 20 games. Just to make sure I wasn't tripping. There's no way nobody that watched both of their films would say he's better than Shedeur.
Throw for a jaw-dropping 55 yards. You could walk that distance faster than it took Cleveland to find the end zone. Imagine being a billionaire, watching your quarterback barely outthrow the high school marching band. That's not football. That's a live art exhibit in frustration. Stefanski probably thought he was being clever, playing it cautious, protecting the team from risk. But safe football, that's just losing in slow motion. And Cleveland turned that safety net into a national joke. Gabriel wasn't passing the ball. He was donating it to the other team. Linebackers were basically running charity drives with his throws. The man looked scared of gravity itself. Every pass was a check down, every drive a surrender, and Haslam's expression on the sideline said it all. The face of a man calculating in real time how much it cost to fire everyone in one afternoon. This was supposed to be Dillon Gabriel's big, left-handed comeback story, his Hollywood-style redemption arc. The NFL hyped it up like a blockbuster, 2 southpaws facing off for the first time since 2006. But what we got instead? A sad, sleepy pillow fight between 2 teams that break out in hives at the sight of competence. Not even 55 real yards, just endless bubble screens and dump-offs.
Keep it real from the start. Shedeur Sanders would have played this game 10 times better than what we saw from Dillon Gabriel. Hell, Deshaun Watson would have done better right now. Even Zappy. Bailey Zappi would have done way better than those bubble screens, redundant passes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, Judkins stole
the football version of reheating leftovers that were bad the first time. Stefanski's play sheet looked like it was written by someone trying to hide the fact they don't trust their quarterback to throw beyond a parking lot. 3rd and 8, screen, 2nd and long, draw 4th down, madness. And while this slow-motion disaster played out, Shedeur Sanders sat on the bench like a secret the Browns were too scared to reveal. The guy's got championship DNA, pocket composure, and actual charisma. 3 things Dillon Gabriel's never even shaken hands with. You could see it, shadow on the sideline, helmet-strapped eyes locked in, just waiting for a miracle that never arrived. The fans saw it too. Shedeur Sanders saw it. Pilar Sanders saw it. Even Deion, miles away in Colorado, probably shook his head like, man, they really doing this again? It's like watching your Ferrari sit idle in the driveway while you keep paying insurance on a rusty lawnmower. Haslam reportedly went off after the game, and honestly, who could blame him? Meanwhile,
right there tells you everything you need to know about Shedeur possibly getting in ever. Oh my God. Look how fucking happy he is. Look at this nigga, bro. I don't know if his number's gonna be called. There's no evidence to suggest that. Oh, they're going Wildcat? Interesting. Wildcat never makes sense to me because you always know what is coming. Oh, they run.
Myles Garrett's out there dragging the defense up and down the field like he's hauling an entire franchise on his back. Every snap looks personal, like he's fighting ghosts while the offense collapses behind him like a cheap folding chair. You can almost hear the defense whispering on the sidelines. We stopped them 3 times, and our quarterback gives it back in 30 seconds. That's not frustration anymore. That's full-blown psychological warfare. The wildest part of this whole circus? Stefanski keeps defending this mess, saying he's protecting Shedeur Sanders. Protecting him from what exactly? Winning? Experience? The chance to actually throw a football longer than a parking space? Shedeur's already faced college pressure, lived under Deion's microscope, and survived an O-line at Colorado that couldn't block a tweet. He doesn't need a bubble wrap. He needs a chance. And don't even start with the Dillon Gabriel is more mobile excuse. That myth's expired. If that's mobility, then statues are elite athletes. Every time pressure hit, Gabriel froze up like a deer trying to file taxes. There was one play where a defender came screaming off the edge, and instead of scrambling, Gabriel just stood there accepting the sack like a man reading his own termination letter.
It looked like Kevin Stefanski is responding to bad. It's no secret that Kevin Stefanski has found himself another week, even after getting the win, back into some drama. This time is for not playing Shedeur Sanders in the fourth quarter of that game. Now, we know they ultimately walked away, beating the Miami Dolphins 31-6. But what took away from the storyline was the fans' reactions to seeing Shedeur, and more importantly, him not.
Meanwhile, the rest of the team looked around like, we really doing this again? It's tragic comedy in motion. They even tried turning Myles Garrett into an emergency spark, but you can't polish chaos. The Browns basically built their entire offense around survival mode, dressing desperation up as strategy. And by halftime, Miami had cracked the code. Their defense stopped even pretending to cover deep routes because Cleveland doesn't throw deep. They stacked the box, dared Gabriel to test them, and watched him check down like he was allergic to ambition.
And if you are there when Shedeur becomes the starting quarterback, the power dynamic will shift and retribution will be had. Meaning, once Shedeur Sanders plays for the Cleveland Browns and they get to see it, and Shedeur Sanders becomes the #1 quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski will be fired.
When the opposing defense knows your playbook by the second quarter, you're not playing chess. You're folding laundry. Predictable, stale, and straight up painful to watch. By the third quarter, fans were done. You could hear the boos echoing through the stadium like one massive bad Yelp review. Even the announcers sounded defeated. Voices low, probably rethinking their life choices mid-broadcast. Cleveland fans didn't pay to witness a live seminar on quarterback anxiety. They came to see hope, not hesitation. And at this point, it's beyond a quarterback controversy. It's flat-out organizational malpractice. You've got a potential franchise star sitting on the bench, collecting splinters, while the so-called safe option racks up numbers that would embarrass a high school JV backup.
There's times when you message to your football team, or I should say this, I message the football team every single day, and there's sometimes you use different tools to get their attention.
And have you ever been that intense? The way he described it is that you gave it to them pretty good.
The Philly comes out every once in a while, yes.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, did that feel like one of the better games that Grant has played? And just how does his versatility help you?
He was off.
Haslam's probably pacing through his mansion right now, muttering to himself, wondering just how much patience it takes before you run out of patience. And let's not act like this is some shocking new meltdown. It's the same tired movie Cleveland's been replaying for years. Draft the guy with potential, ignore him, cling to mediocrity, fire someone when it all blows up. The only thing this franchise has mastered is being consistently inconsistent. Stefanski's play calling has turned into straight-up performance art. Cautious, predictable.
To be shaken up. Yeah. Like this week. I don't know, head coach, quarterback, GM, whoever it is, that's not it. And B-Mac, when you get blown out by a 1-5 team, and you're a 1-5 team, and you get blown out in the NFL.
Rookie quarterback, too.
Yeah, on a rookie quarterback, right?
Without a win.
Without a win.
Let's keep making the case against it.
That plane ride home,
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
bro, that is two things. It's either dead quiet or they're going to start cracking the cards out because guys don't care anymore, right? So there is a lack of leadership.
And painfully uninspired. He calls a game like a man trying to avoid bad Yelp reviews instead of trying to win a football game. The locker room's got to feel like a volcano at this point, bubbling with frustration. Even Myles Garrett couldn't hold back, saying everyone needs to step up because the offense is struggling. Translation, our quarterback stinks. The receivers barely get targets, the tight ends are running routes just to get their steps in, and the offensive line's blocking for plays that vanish faster than hope in Cleveland. This isn't football anymore. It's creative suffering. You can feel the morale slipping, like the team's rehearsing failure at this point. Every winnable game turns into another rerun of bad comedy, and if this is the process, then Cleveland's been processing disaster for decades. Haslam's breaking point might finally be right here, right now, because let's be real, no billionaire wants to watch his franchise become a meme factory every Sunday. There's only so many bubble screens a man can stomach before he starts questioning his life choices. And when an owner gets humiliated on national TV, you already know what's next.
Sitting there and you watch the way Dillon Gabriel played today, and you come on the radio show tomorrow talking about he looked best and the team just has to do better, man, you are straight out asinine and diabolical, man. Tony Grossi, we need answers. There's no way that you can speak for Dillon Gabriel no more. Shedeur Sanders, number 12. We want to see Shedeur. Give Shedeur a shot. Let's see what this offense looks like with Shedeur Sanders in the...
Somebody's getting fired. Let's call it what it is. Dillon Gabriel isn't the problem, he's just the symptom. The real disease? Cleveland's obsession with playing it safe. Safe picks don't win in this league. Risk takers do. Look around. The greats weren't cautious, they were fearless. But the Browns, they're so terrified of being wrong that they've forgotten how to be right.
I never thought I'd feel more sorry for a Miami fan than a Browns fan. Oh my goodness. I just want to point these things out. 31-6, Dillon Gabriel is still in the game after they get the ball back. Now I actually am big on, I don't want Shedeur playing any football until Kevin Stefanski isn't coaching. I've said that on so many videos. However, you're up 31-6 to a Miami team that's pissed.
And while they keep playing not to lose, Shedeur Sanders is sitting there, built to win. Watching someone else rehearse your failure, that's brutal. But what makes it worse for Shedeur Sanders is how painfully obvious it's become to everyone, even the opponents. The Dolphins' defense spent that whole second half laughing. They didn't even bother disguising blitzes anymore because Cleveland never made them pay for it. They could have called out plays in advance and still gotten away with it. And the wild part? The Browns have a quarterback sitting right there, the kind of guy who could walk into that huddle tomorrow and make the whole team believe again. But belief isn't Cleveland's thing. Nah, they believe in bubble screens and baby step offense. The funniest excuse floating around right now is that Shedeur needs more time to develop. Really? How exactly do you develop from the bench? Is he supposed to level up through osmosis while watching Dillon Gabriel overthrow 3-yard routes? You don't learn football by spectating incompetence, you learn by living through it. And every week they keep Gabriel in that spot, the Browns are sending one clear message: we'd rather lose slow than risk winning fast. That's not strategy, that's a sickness, that's the culture. And it's why this team stays permanently stuck in rebuild mode.
Weekend, which one is it going to be? Is it going to be Mike McDaniels for the Dolphins, or is it going to be Kevin Stefanski? And how can they keep their jobs? When it comes to Kevin Stefanski, since week 14 of last season, you have only averaged 13.7 points. So at this point, we're going to have to see a different quarterback. We already know what Dillon Gabriel is going to get us: a bunch of passes and no yards. Okay, now when it comes to the Dolphins, they have scored 134 points just this season. So all they have to do is worry about defense because we know they can score. What do you guys think? Do you think Kevin Stefanski is going to stick with the same QB and the same offense that's only been producing 3 to 6 points?
Jimmy Haslam's tried everything. New coaches, new quarterbacks, new slogans, even new prayer candles. But at some point, the problem stops being bad luck and starts being bad decisions. Stefanski's running out of excuses. His safe game plans make 1950s football look cutting edge. Memorize a few plays, hand it off, and spend Sundays watching dump-offs to the running back. That's the Stefanski special, and the look on Haslam's face after that game said it all. The man's done. You could see it in his eyes. He's seen enough. The franchise is standing at a crossroads, and one more safe week might just be Stefanski's last. Because here's the truth. Cleveland isn't talentless. They're mismanaged. The defense is elite. The run game's legit. The fans, loyal to the bone. The missing piece is leadership, someone who's not afraid of their own shadow and ready to unleash this roster like it's meant to be unleashed. Shedeur Sanders is the risk they're too scared to take, and that's exactly why he's the answer. This kid's been built for the spotlight since day one. Pressure doesn't shake him, it feeds him. He's calm in chaos, sharp when everything's burning down, and most importantly, he wants it. That hunger alone makes him the best option on the roster. He's not waiting for some fairy tale setup or a perfect situation.
Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur Sanders. There's no way, no how, that he's going to actually ever put Shedeur Sanders in the game. If you can read the stats here, the Browns are up 31-6. No thanks to Dillon Gabriel. He only had maybe a little bit over 100 yards, no touchdowns.
He's waiting for that call. But Cleveland's coaching staff keeps pretending they're protecting him. Please, they're not protecting Shedeur. They're protecting themselves. Because the second he hits that field and lights it up, the whole world will see how wrong they've been, and that's their biggest fear. Not losing games, losing credibility. If Haslam's got any sense left, it's time to end the act. Fire Stefanski, sit Gabriel, and hand the keys to Shedeur. The fans are tired. The locker room's cracking. The city's patience has expired. Shedeur doesn't need a babysitter. He needs an offensive line, a real playbook, and a coach who actually believes in him. The Browns keep saying tossing him in too early might ruin him. Newsflash, benching him is what's ruining him. Every wasted snap, every safe call, every loss under Gabriel's name is stealing momentum from the future they already have sitting right there on the sideline. Cleveland can't afford another development year. The clock's ticking, the season's slipping, and fans are running out of patience faster than Gabriel runs out of passing options. 1-6 isn't a rebuild, it's a red flag. So what's next? Either Haslam finally snaps and pulls that trigger,
saying, over my dead body will Shedeur get a shot. This is all-time shameful on the part of Kevin Stefanski. He won't even speak Shedeur's name in these interview sessions. There's just a principle involved here where at least you acknowledge that by default, Flacco is now gone. Shedeur moved up a slot. He's second on the depth chart. This was Kevin Stefanski pretty much declaring public.
Or Cleveland keeps pretending everything's fine while the walls crumble around them. Maybe Gabriel gets another start. Maybe Stefanski survives another press conference. But let's be real. Everyone in that building knows the truth. The experiment's over. The illusion's dead. It's time to stop pretending and let Shedeur Sanders do what he was born to do. Save this team. And if Cleveland still refuses to listen, maybe the rest of the league will, because the truth couldn't be louder. The so-called safe choice failed. The bold one's been waiting this whole time, and the Browns, they're out of excuses. It's time to rip off the training wheels and let the kid drive. Until then, Cleveland fans better get used to bubble screens, boos echoing through the stadium, and endless highlight reels of missed potential. But here's the thing. This story isn't over yet. It can be rewritten. It all starts with one decision. Play the guy who actually knows how to play football. Because the next time Jimmy Haslam loses it, it might not just be Stefanski catching the heat. It might be the entire system that convinced him 55 yards of offense was a strategy worth defending. And when that explosion hits, the fireworks won't be on the field. They'll be in the boardroom, and nobody's walking away clean. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share because the next chapter in Cleveland's chaos is coming fast and you won't want to miss it. See you on the next one.